Welcome to In the Background of Life with Kelly Ramsey, the podcast that invites you to sit down in a cozy living space, sipping a cup of tea while we embark on a captivating journey about our intentional narratives in our lives. I'm Kelly Ramsey, and this podcast is your warm space to unravel the stories woven into everyday moments. It's a tapestry crafted with intention and purpose. So grab your favorite cup of tea, settle in, and let's explore the unnoticed details that contribute to the intentional design of the world around us. Together, we'll celebrate the beauty in the threads that make life extraordinary. Hi, welcome in. I am so excited today to share with you. It is July. Can you believe it? And we are already at the halfway point of the year. I don't know where 6 months went, but it has come and it's gone. We get to have a new beginning starting in July. And so I'm always excited about new beginnings, but I'm also excited about summer and winding down and scheduling some fun in our busy, busy lives. So today we're going to be talking about summer fun, and I'm going to give you a little history of things I've done with my boys, from young boys to now teenagers. And we're also going to be talking about balancing work. So summer for some, it's like hands down, everything stops and we get to relax. For others, like myself, it's balancing work, family, fun, and all the things that we want to do as well. So I don't know about you, but in Oklahoma, we have been having some scorching weather in the 100 degrees. And so while I made plans for things I wanted to do, some things have to wait because it's so hot outside. So when I think about summertime and I think about the hot weather, I think about pool time and being in the pool and relaxing and just getting the heat off. And so that memory takes me back to my own childhood in Oakland, California, being in the arts program in Berkeley, California with my two sisters. And we would do these summer workshops. And the summer workshops were fun things. One was swimming, one was photography, all kinds of dance, tap and jazz dance, ceramics, cooking, and then like nature or exploration. So why that picture is so vivid for me is because it opened up opportunities to try new things and to also see what I was interested in. And come to find out, here we are, 57 years later, all of the things I did at that summer program, I now have a part of my regular life. Photography, which I do mostly with my iPhone. So shout out to quality iPhones. And I have a camera that I also will take out and just take different pictures. I have so many pictures on my phone. I don't even know what the count was. I think 6,000 was the last count, but taking lots of pictures in photography. And then I loved cooking class because I got to try new recipes and things. So I did a lot of culinary arts things. I'm a pretty good cook now, as evidenced by my family demolishing enchiladas last night and all the sides. So in the summertime, I know parents can totally understand how your children consume just crazy amounts of food. And you wonder what happens when they're at school. What are they eating? Because summertime, they are killing the grocery bills. So shout out to all you parents who are dealing with that now. And then the other thing we did was ceramics. And so 2 years ago, for my birthday, I bought myself a pottery wheel. Why is it still in the box? Why is it not unboxed and being used? So this summer, I plan to unbox it, actually get it all set up. I bought the clay, I bought the tools, an apron, all the things. And so I already imagine I'll be in my backyard on the patio with that pottery wheel, creating some wonder. So you'll hear about it later when I actually do it. So Those are like summer things that we always did. So as we're thinking about summer fun, we also have to balance that our ages of our children, the stages they're in, what's available, finances, because it costs finances to have summer fun. So I remember with the boys when they were young, one of my greatest joys was going to the library, having them check out books and videos and play on the computer. And we would spend at least 2 to 3 hours at the library. So that's a free resource that's available. And Oklahoma Metropolitan Library System is amazing. Also, the Pioneer Library System. So if you don't have a library card, I would say make that your first stop. Get a library card, go and explore things you want to know about and things you want to do. And when the boys were little, they started going as infants, of course, in the stroller. That was more for me to check out magazines and have an outing that was safe. And then as a toddler, they could pick out their own books. Now, just imagine at the library, your toddler is picking out the books. They're not picking out one book at a time. They're picking out 10, 15, 20 books, taking them off the shelf, putting them in their bag because we had our own bag that we would carry. And they're saying, I'm going to check out all of these books. And we're like, no, let's get 5 books and let's get 3 CDs or movies or what did they used to check out? I can't remember which. Lots of Thomas the Train stuff. And so I would limit how many items they could get. Now, did you know, fun fact, that at the library you can check out up to 100 items? Not that we should, because we'll also have to keep track of those and find them and make sure they come back to the library. So just a fun fact. So usually I would limit my boys to how many items they could take. And also I wanted them to actually read the books that we checked out. So at home, we had a routine of reading time after we had eaten dinner and just sitting and everybody with their book, including myself, reading our book. Some of it was in silence. Some of it was out loud, which makes it kind of hard for other people to concentrate. But needless to say, reading has been a fundamental part of their lives and still is. So now the difference is they actually go to Barnes & Noble or Half Price Books, and they want to purchase their books from there rather than go to the library and check it out. And so I went to the library last month, and I reminded myself of what a joy it was going to the library. Unfortunately, it was just me because they weren't interested, but it so reacquainted me with my love for books and love for learning. So in our next segment, we're going to talk about one of the books that I picked up that I think you'll really enjoy. So be sure to tune into that. So going to the library is a great way. We also have water parks that are free in the public park systems. So going through the water parks where they can go through the sprinklers, and those are in most neighborhoods. So we're going to be sure to share a couple of links to tell you where to find that. And then looking at how can you explore in your own home, in the backyard, riding bikes, maybe skateboards, whatever wheeled thing that you have. Taking walks is a great way to do as well. And then doing day trips. So maybe we can't go to Hawaii with the whole family and fly on a plane, but maybe we could take a day trip to Tulsa. And so Tulsa has the Gathering Place in Tulsa. It's a free park for the whole family. Everybody can hang out. And so those are really simple things. All you need is a tank of gas. You could pack your lunch and sandwiches, have a picnic, enjoy each other, get out of the house, and then go explore something new. So I would challenge you to explore something new by just writing down a list of things you want to do this summer. And so just a simple list every week, pick something you want to do that's new, and then you get to go enjoy your summer and you get to make memories. You know, we've talked about memory making before. So we get to capture that memory on a photo. We get to capture it in our journals or just in our minds, that memory of having that fun event as well. So as you're doing your summer activities with your kids, remember that it's also a time for learning. And so we have something in education called the summer slide. That happens when children lose the gains that they have throughout the school year in their academic studies. So encouraging them to read different books is a great way to do with that. We also used to order Kiwi kits, and these are kits that are science building kits. So it engages the mind. It also engages their focus as well. It gives you another activity to do. I think they run about $20 a month, and you can get them by the age appropriateness. So the Kiwi kit is for the younger ones, and then they have one that's for older children. So my boys made things like slingshots. They made rockets. I remember the rocket in particular because they crafted it. They were on the front porch and they were doing the rocket. They were making estimations of how far it would fly, how much pressure you needed to put on the foot pedal in order to make it fly. Is it easier if you do it with your hand or if your foot? Does it give you more momentum? So there was all kinds of learnings that happened when we did those that year. The other tradition we had in the summer is we would get the summer bridge books. It's a workbook for the Pacific grade they're going into. So if they just finished third grade, you would get the third grade to fourth grade bridge book. And those were just worksheets that they did on their own. And so they had to spend some amount of time doing that every week. I didn't like have them sit down every day, but during the week they needed to finish that particular section. And that kept them up to speed. And then the other tool that we used that's also a great free resource was Cons. And it's an online program. I'll give the link to you in the notes. It's an online program that gives them grammar as well as math. And so they can learn at the different levels. They could focus on content that maybe they struggle with at the end of the year, or they're going to be doing at the beginning of the year. And so it gave them a way to do that. So those are just some of the things that we did for the summer. Of course, pool time, going to the swimming pool and enjoying that time has been really, really great. So I'll share with you one other tip around summertime and vacations that you can use any time of the year. So we like to take road trips. So we would drive in the summer from Oklahoma to California. Yes, you heard it right. Oklahoma to California. That's 24 hours. Of course, we didn't drive straight through because you had two little ones. So we would stop halfway in between, get a hotel, get refreshed, eat some breakfast, and then get back on the road. And so on the road trips, I always packed them some new things. So a new coloring book that they hadn't used before, a new pack of crayons, because when you have things new, you're just like, oh, wow, look, my new coloring book, my new crayons. And as the kids got older, then they would get coloring pencils and then eventually markers. So stages of development, they could use that and I wouldn't have marker all over my seat. But one year I did these tackle boxes. And every year I would have all the snacks close by and I would spend my whole ride handing out snacks, putting things in the trash and them doing all those things and they just would be consuming. And so I was like, what if I give them like this little tackle box and it's just like the plastic box from Hobby Lobby. And I filled it with their snacks. So they had fruit snacks. They had some kind of nuts in there. They had gummy bears, of course, lots of sugar, of course, right? They had some grapes. We did do some fresh stuff in there too. And so between stops, we would refill the tackle box with new stuff. And then that way they could open up their snack box, eat what they want, and decide. But the rule was if they ate it all, then they had to wait for the next stop. So they would just go ahead and get their snacks. The other thing is like they couldn't replenish their tackle box until they had cleaned up the trash that was in the back. So that's picking up juice boxes, Capri Suns, water bottles. There was a trash bag back there. They had to collect all of that. Back seat had to be clean. and then they go and dump it, and then they would refill their tackle box. Can I tell you how much time it saved me in getting all the snacks together, and how much fun it was to shop for the different things and to surprise them? So these are things that they normally wouldn't get. You didn't have to get a whole bunch of it because it's just going in this little square. So you could really make your snacks last and stretch. So that was one of my tips and tricks that I did. So the last thing I would share is that one of the simple things about summer is that you get to have refreshing treats and make things. We always made homemade popsicles just out of Dixie cups and popsicle sticks, or straws if you don't have those. And so fruit juice, pour it in a cup, put it in the freezer, and then the popsicles are ready. And it's new, right? It's fresh, and it just kept them involved. Could you do just juice any time of the year? Yes, you could. But summertime was our time just to refresh and to do those things. So I hope you have enjoyed getting a few tips for your summer, reinvigorating what your family is doing, being mindful of the ages and stages of your children, because things change at each age. And also being mindful of free things that are available that you can also go to. When the children got a little bit older, we would spend time at Marriott Gardens. They would go through the water park early in the day and then dry off and eat. And then we would sit for the summer concerts or for the movie nights outside. So we had blankets, we had our picnic baskets, we had snacks, everything I could prepare from home. There was enough activity for them to be involved. So by the time they laid on that blanket and was watching the movie or listening to the music, they might take a nap and you might have some quiet time. So just a little tip that you can also invigorate yourself during those times and be able to bring them forward. So, of course, we need an action step. So our action step for today is to create a list of the summer activities you want to try out. A great source for finding what's going on in the Oklahoma City area is Metro Family. So get the Metro Family magazine. In the back, there's a list of activities. They tell you they're free or at cost or whatnot. Choose a few of them to put on your list. Think about your own childhood and what you used to like to do for summer and incorporate some of those activities. Expose your kids to them. Like I remember one of the things we used to do was hula hoops, and the boys just cracked up because we were hula hooping, myself and my friend. And they were like, how do you keep it balanced? And so there was a whole lesson. And then it turned into doing handstands that I wasn't doing, my friend was. And so they just had a ball reclaiming childhood, learning about their parents, and having some fun. So create your list. Be sure to do at least 3 things a week. If you do something every day, great, but at least 3 things a week. And then post a snapshot on your social media page or on your phone and share it with a friend to inspire them to do other things as well. So we will talk to you soon, and we look forward to sharing even more ideas. Next week, we're going to be talking about our library visits and sharing with you a book that we're reading. So have a great one. This episode of In the Background of Life with Kelly Ramsey is brought to you by the Possibilities Podcast platform.